Wow, people seem to watch this video a lot. Maybe I should make a sequel. Hey, yeah, don't you think that making a second video on the things you hate is a little negative? What do you mean? Well, I mean, like, you could make a video on things in art that you like, or just, I don't know, compilations of your cat. There's just so much negativity around on the internet these days, so maybe. No one cares about what I like. They only want to either be offended or laugh at others for being offended. And if this bit continues on for longer, they'll click off. Their attention spans have gone to mush. Nothing but drama and hate matters anymore. So get back into your dungeon and let me give them what they want. Look, I don't think that's going to work. You're being too dramatic. Hello, I'm Pieta, and I'm here to list some more things that I don't particularly like seeing in artworks. Remember that these are just my subjective views, and it's perfectly okay to disagree and enjoy the things that I don't. I'm just here to share my opinions. So, number 1. Flat patterns on clothes. So this is when, say, a character has one of those lumberjack shirts with the square pattern, but the artist just painted over it with a ready pattern brush. Or if I was to draw the star pattern on my persona sweater with the ready star tool instead of drawing them by hand. Now this saves a lot of time and effort, yes, but it just looks so flat. And at this point it's not even clothing anymore, it's just a 2D piece of something trying to be a shirt. Yes, this can work. For simpler styles it can look very good. Or if you're on a tight budget in regards to animation, for example, then this style choice is completely understandable. But if you're just drawing a still character, like a detailed, realistic version, I'd say it's better to draw the pattern by hand. You do this by following the folds and curves of the fabric, and although it's hard at first and might look wonky, it'll look better with practice, and to be honest, anything looks better than this. 2. Dead shading. This one is especially common with beginner artists, and there's nothing wrong with it if you're going for, well, a dead look. It's when the shadows on a subject are painted with either low opacity black or just a duller shade of the original color. It makes the subjects look very plain and not really interesting. A fix for this would be to use a different, more saturated, darker color for the shades instead of this greyish version of the original. Shadows aren't grey in the real world either, so I recommend looking at references on how shadows work and kinda like reflect the color on the other side. 3. Too polished artworks. Now you might be wondering, but polishing and fine rendering is good. It makes the drawing look clean and easy on the eyes. And yes, I agree. But it just gets kinda boring, you know, when there's no sign of the artist's hand anywhere. The lines are smooth, the shading is smooth, it just looks so pretty, it's kinda ugly. I don't know, I might be the only one that is bothered by this, but I just prefer the look of sketchy line art and more of a rough shading. 4. Overly sexualized drawings, or drawings that pretend to be safe for work but are clearly not. This includes vacuum-sealed body parts and clothes that don't really follow the laws of physics. It's not so much the fact that it's unrealistic, it's also the fact that it often looks uncomfortable and awkward as hell. This is completely subjective, I understand, and if you like to draw hot, spicy things, then go ahead. Just don't show them to me without any warning, please. I mean, around 30% of the entire internet is not safe for work content, and it's so hard to get away from it at this point that I'm just tired of seeing it everywhere. And 5. Boring portfolios. By this I mean one-sided and very generic collections of drawings. Like, for example, say someone likes drawing girls with long purple hair and purple clothes. Then you're like, oh, cool drawing, I wonder what else they've made. And it's just the same purple girl over and over again. I understand that it's recommended to have consistent portfolios, and if you only like drawing one thing and are never gonna experiment outside of that, then be my guest, have as plain of a portfolio as you'd like. But to me it just sends the message that this artist is kinda like stuck in place and unwilling to experiment with different poses, lighting, colors, or art styles in general. But yeah, I can see why most people keep their portfolios consistent. I guess it's good for business. Ah yeah, but it looks like we're out of time. Those were some more things that I don't necessarily enjoy seeing in artworks. I don't think I'll ever make a part 3, but there are still some peeves I have with the art community itself. And if you'd care to hear about things that I love seeing in art, then tell me. And also tell me your art icks. I'd love to see some different opinions. Anyway, here are pictures of my cat. Bye bye!